and a parent, Lauren, what skills do you wish more children were developing at home before they arrived in your classroom or at school?
So something we've noticed as the years have gone on is that listening skills is becoming more and more of a problem within a classroom setting. If I think about 13 years ago, the children came into my class, you spoke, they listened, they reacted. It's becoming less and less every year. And even as parents, we'll often say to a parent, you know, you'll say, please take your plate to the table. They don't respond. So you say it again. You say it again. So they've learned, I only need to react the third time you've said it. Take your plate. You know, so they only respond when you start saying you've got to do this. So what happens, that translates in the classroom, okay, take out your book. They don't respond because they've learned I don't need to listen the first time you speak. So that for me is, and I think for my colleague as well, listening skills is a major thing that we see getting worse every year, to be honest.
To listening, it's something that they don't do very well, and memory as well. They don't remember things. And I think it's because of what they have access to. I think when we're young, we would listen to the radio for long periods of time, but now with TV and scrolling, they don't have to remember anything. They don't have to listen because they are watching things as they go. I think I do agree with you on that.
How do you intentionally teach responsibility in your household, especially across your very expansive age groups of your children?
Yeah, it's a very difficult one, but the main thing is to just make them aware of what is expected of them. I think that's what all I would say there. It's very clear what they have to do, and I expect that it is done.
And I also think to let them know that this is what we need for our household to function. And we need you to help with this. I need you to help feed the dogs because I'm busy feeding the bird or whatever. So for our household to function, you need responsibilities because we all live here.
Yeah, and I think I'll add as well that we need to model the behavior that we expect in our children. And if there are things that I'm expected to do, I make sure that I do them on time.
As teachers, what do you think parents sometimes misunderstand about schools and your profession, you teachers as well?
Yeah, probably I would say these days there is more of a conflict between teachers and parents in terms of how we dealing with the children at home and in school. I think before there was a bit more understanding between the parents and the teachers. Now there is more of what I can call educational paternalism, where teachers on one end think they know what's best for the children, and they can tell parents this is what we expect children to do and things like that. And parents on the other extreme are fighting that as well and saying the child is mine, I decide what happens to my child. So there's a little bit more conflict between teachers and parents. Our goals are the same, but I think there is less communication between the school and the home, and there's less trust, especially coming from the parents, that we mean well as well.
For sure. I think as a primary school teacher, to me, I think parents misunderstand sometimes that I'm not just a teacher. My role is so massive. I'm their nurse, I'm their psychologist, I'm their, their caregiver, I'm their protector, I'm their social skills person. So I think parents sometimes don't recognize that the roles are so broad. There are so many things we do. We don't just teach.
Why is alignment between home and school so critical for children, and how can families support that better?
So the interesting thing that happens when parents and teachers are misaligned, it actually creates anxiety for the children. Unified adults communicate security and predictability. And when there's this misalignment, we're speaking different value systems. And when they are aligned, children generally feel more secure, which means they can actually focus on what they're there for, to learn the academics, the school experience. As a family, we believe in the 80-20 principle. 80% of the time, we want to be fully aligned with the school, the values, and how things are done. But hey, there's always 20% that doesn't go quite the way we want to. But we don't necessarily make that a dinner conversation or a communal debate of any sort. We keep it to ourselves because we want to make sure that our children are fully aligned and that they feel secure and not undermining any other adult's opinion or way of working. So it is a very important topic, and I think more of us as parents should get on board in terms of how we structure those conversations at home.
Yes, I do agree with you there. I think this one is a very important collaboration, the collaboration between parents and teachers to help the students. And I think parents do not know how much we need them. We really do need them as teachers to just help us raise.
Yeah.
To all of the parents listening right now watching this podcast, what is a small step that they could take in this week to support their children's growth? What's something you would recommend?
I would recommend slowing down and pausing before reacting. If you can take a quick 10-second and just ask yourself the simple question, what am I modeling right now? I think that is a game changer. It's also something that's going to shift your attention from wanting to change your child's behavior and looking inwards and asking, what strengthening do I need right now?
So thank you all so much for being a part of this discussion. As you know, parenting is something that's really serious in this day and age, and lots of people are out there wondering, how can I do it best, or what can I try? So all of your input is valued, and we are excited, Priscilla, for your parenting series, and more information will definitely be relayed in future.